What's crack-a-lackin' with ya?
Crack-a-lackin' with you?
Oh, I am just groovy. 2brospodcast in the house, episode 21.
Done.
I say 21 in Spanish.
21.
21.
21.
21 for the tiempos out there. Like that was the tiempo show.
For the tiempo.
Chicken McNuuuuuGaaaatz. That's the same one I remember. Chicken McNuuuuuGaaaatz. That was when we used to watch wrestling, right?
Yeah.
Like on channel 47 or something with what was that guy? Mean Gene and all those guys.
Right, but they would like if you turned on 47, they would have the same thing, but they would have the Spanish announcers.
Yes, I remember that. Those were fun times, man. Watching,
which they've actually integrated into the actual broadcast.
Really?
Yeah. So they'll like do something like on the main thing let's shoot it over to our colleagues at
correspondents,
see what they're saying, and they're right there and they want to see the
That was pretty cool. I was dope when wrestling was like something you find, right? When it was like, oh, I found the channel and Ric Flair and all these guys. I was like, have you seen this guy lately, Ric Flair?
Ric Flair?
Yeah.
Did you see a 30 for 30?
I saw it. It's insane.
Insane. I was like, oh my God, you're still alive?
Yeah. I looked at this thing and I was like, what? Like, how could he survive? Like that's what that was my response.
You're not dead? You're not. Oh my God!
This guy did some amazing
shit
like TV, like him.
And now has no filter. Doesn't apologize for any of that shit.
I'm shocked he doesn't have like a reality show or something like that, like a Jenner or one of those.
How would you contain that? That is clearly like he was in the line for personality and ego, like that. He stayed in that line long.
Ric Flair. I mean, like the name itself is like, how do you fucking not know that that's what he's out for? Right. I mean, Ric Flair. I mean, this guy was like.
Did you look at some of the younger ones he did, like when he first became big?
Oh yeah,
in wrestling and stuff, and some of the promos that he would shoot.
No, I didn't see. I saw the 30 for 30, and then I was just I watched the whole thing jaw drop, like oh my God,
it's just fascinating.
That's cool, man. I saw another documentary from Abdullah the Butcher.
Oh, I want to see that one. Yeah, that's another one.
That's on YouTube. That motherfucker was. I mean, this guy was like a circus show, like but all the cuts in his head, like he's got all these cuts, and this guy would jab you with a fucking blunt stick or something.
Stick or fork. Or somehow
fork.
They can find a fork or
he's tucked under his...
like pull something out and start like, oh shit.
And like. He talks about like how the producer would be like, yo man, we're gonna split you today, so he's like, we gotta see some blood, like the fans are dying for it. He's like, okay, is the check double, like
right.
And his story is remarkable, like how he his mom was washing floors for somebody or whatever else, and then he just came home and was like, Mom, quit, got a check. And he only got it was like $750,
right?
You know what I'm saying? But he was like, "We're rich, you know.
This is it. Like,
this is it.
This is the start of it." So
his name Madufa, and he was like a hustler, like a newspaper hustler. Like in growing up, he would the guy would pay him to hand out papers. You know what I'm saying? He'd go into corners and tell people, "Hey, my dad, he's gonna beat me if you don't." That was his line.
Okay.
My dad would beat me if I don't sell all these papers. And people would say, "Hey man, here, take $5, like even more." Like, sorry to hear that, man. I'll take a paper, but here's $10. Right. And he was like, "This shit works." And he went from every corner, and he would just like hustle these fucking papers, and met some guy who was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" He told his father. He says, "I know your father." And, grabbed him by the collar and took him down. "Hey, Fred, you beat this kid or what?" It's like, no. He's got an honest job. What the fuck? And he got busted, and he was like, "Never again." And then,
oh man, remember those good old days when you could just like grab anybody's fucking kid? And say, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah,
get your ass over here. I'm gonna take you over here. And nobody would say shit.
No,
nobody would say shit. You always had somebody in the neighborhood. I think in
Miss
when we grew up, Miss Wilkins.
Yeah,
would rat on your monkey ass
shit.
in a second. Said, Miss Ann, your boy was over there in the backyard digging shit up.
She cost me an ass whooping one time with me and this kid Mario. Shout out Light the Barber. He was only other light skinned kid in the block with curly hair. It looks like Terrence Howard, you know. And he got the light eyes and everything. And then he was throwing like we would throw. Remember the dirt bomb? Remember the scoop up the dirt and dirt, boof. So we had the garbage can tops like shields, throwing fucking dirt bombs at each other. Boom, 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 boom. And shit. I think one went by her stoop or whatever. Yo, motherfuckers, you badass kids. I'm calling the cops. I'm calling the police. And lo and behold, they I think they grabbed him and she told him, he said it was me. It was this whole thing, and cops looking like, it's just kids, man.
Right, these just kids playing.
Go on with your mother. I don't know your mother. Yeah. These guys were down at the bar with mom and shit.
Yeah, I think everybody in our neighborhood got an ass whooping because of Mom Wilkins.
Yeah, she really ratted on a lot of people, but
you needed that in those neighborhoods. You needed that. You needed to delineate the good kids and the kids who I haven't seen this. I don't know who this kid is.
Yeah.
You know,
new kid.
We knew. Oh, that's Chad, or that's John and his friends, or that's you know.
Yeah, you do need
good kids. They get in a little trouble here and there, but it's nothing. But I don't know who the fuck that kid is.
Yeah, right. And that was always the thing when a new kid came around. Like, you know, one of my friends from like school would start hanging around on our block, or one of the kids. Like a lot of the guys lived up in 112,
right?
And they came down, or vice versa, Murdoch dudes, and our neighbors be like, "Who's that guy? I don't like him, man."
Right.
That was the fun day. But those are the fun days, man. Those priceless. And now I've been here 10 years in this side. I don't even know these people.
Yeah,
I have no idea who they are. I know the lady across the street, me and her, because we watch each other's dogs and stuff.
Right.
This side, this guy next door to me here, our kids went to school for 4 years together, and it's, hey man, how you doing? Good morning. Like people just put their head down and walk, and they get scared to, what do I do? He said hello. Oh.
It's a shame, man. It's just,
it sucks.
I don't know how I got that. I don't know how it got like that. Like you somehow think that like you reached a certain point where, okay, you now can isolate yourself.
Yeah.
To where you don't need to communicate. Because if you live in poor neighborhoods and stuff like that, you need to be able to interact with other people because like that interaction sort of like protected you from shit that would happen.
Yeah,
I mean, you need this network of friends who would say, "Hey, some shit happened over there in this corner," or did you hear somebody broke into somebody's place? And
right, but that's when
you needed that network.
But I hate when people conveniently look for it because then when something does happen, you want to ring the bell and say, "Hey, you guys didn't see anything? Who are you?
Exactly.
Like,
who are you?
Know.
Exactly.
I don't know. Like,
you're the dude I tried to say hi to, and you just turned away.
Yeah, but saying hello for you. And one of my other neighbors over here, this way, 2 houses down, his son used to shoot with Ron. They used to play here. Cool kid. You come by, want to shovel snow. I was like, no, I got lazy kids of my own upstairs. Get them to wake up and shovel some snow. And he would come over and shoot ball and whatever else, and kind of got. And his father would like be looking, and then when you look up and see him, and you look, like he's busy doing something. I'm like, yo, how you doing? These guys put that. Then I seen him on a train, and it was along the railroad, and I was, how you doing, Steven? I'm your fucking neighbor. You fucking oh, hi. And it just went what the fuck? Like, no. Hey, how's it going, man? How you doing?
Yeah.
I didn't know you take this train, whatever. This motherfucker act like he was busted. He was like,
right.
Oh,
yes, I exist. Yes.
I take the train too. Do I? Like, what's so fucking bad about it? I mean, I guess he somehow, in my head, I thought he was thinking, oh man, I drive this nice car, and now I'm taking the commuter rail like a regular person.
Like a
the common folk.
Like
common
like regular.
folk. Yeah, I'm regular.
You mean like a couple million people do every day?
Yeah, 30,000 people an hour, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe you're one of those.
Maybe you're one of them.
Yeah. I told this guy that the other day. I said, listen, buddy, he was cramping about the train being crowded and all this other stuff, and I'm like, dude, they have private cars that you can hire and ride in, or you can drive yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? but you gotta kind of be elite. You know,
you gotta fork it up.
You gotta be elite. So when you're down with the common folk, just enjoy it, man.
Right.
Relax.
Right.
It's great. Yes. Fucking people.
Yeah. You inconvenience for like what, 30 minutes?
Come on, man.
You
It's not even an inconvenience. And on the Long Island Railroad, forget it. People think it's some sort of special privilege that I bought a pass. I'm a monthly pass holder.
Right. I should have a certain amount of space dedicated to me. This is whatever.
Doesn't go like that. I mean, it's still public transportation. I had to remind the guy. I said, this is public. This is public transportation. Just because it's not a private car. It's not a private lounge. So those are funny when you get people. And I just saw this movie called The Neighbor. It's weird. It's fucking guy. It's the guy. I'm bad with the actors' names, but he plays this quirky neighbor, and he's just like a new neighbor moves in, and he's kind of like looking at his wife type of thing, and his buddy's like, "Yo, you want to bang that shit, right? Don't you?" The
neighbor.
Yeah, check it out. It's a fun. It's fun and weird, and it gets dark at the end. It's like, holy shit. Golf clubs are swinging.
Well, there was some shit, wasn't it? What was that movie that Samuel Jackson did?
Yes, with Heights or something.
Some Heights or something like that, or whatever.
Yeah, he was a bad.
He was a cop, and an interracial couple moved in.
Yeah,
or something like that.
Yeah.
And
he just had problems with it.
Yeah, he just had issues with it. And
that light is on and facing my house. It's facing my property. Yeah, fucking Samuel Jackson. Sammy Jack. He's an incredible guy. Man.
He is an incredible guy.
Is he Swiss off?
The Yinglings are, yeah. I think the Sam Adams are Yingling and.
We were drinking Sam last
props
night.
To
Winter. Yeah, I want Yingling.
Props to Philly for winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Philly.
Congratulations.
The Dirty Birds.
That's right.
Or not the Dirty Birds. Atlanta's the Dirty Bird.
Whatever. The Dirty. So I got a friend of mine came over to see the Super Bowl, right?
Mm-hmm.
His wife didn't come.
Okay.
Wife stayed home with the kids. She said she wasn't feeling good. Whatever.
Yeah.
His wife is from South Jersey.
Okay, close enough.
Big Philly fans.
Okay.
Huge Philly fan.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the Super Bowl, he darts out and leaves. Like as soon as it's over, darts out and leaves, just bounces, right? Texts me the next day, and he says, "Hey, I didn't mean to jet off like that. I was saying thank you or whatever." And I text him back and says, "Yeah, I got a little concerned. Is everything okay?" And he says, "Yeah, I just wanted to get home and make sure my wife didn't destroy the fucking house after Philly won the Super Bowl." And as we've seen, some people just can't handle freaking success. They just went out and destroyed shit.
That's just mind-boggling. But did you see again? The fucking Simpsons got it right again.
But what they do? I haven't watched the Simpsons in
No, I see now. I'm not sure if people are doing this on purpose. I'm not. I think people are either photoshopping them and creating them, or because they shot so many episodes. It's so hard for you to go back unless you say, "Oh, on episode 10, 15, XYZ." They showed the fucking Philadelphia Eagles and the Patriots and the exact score.
Oh, really?
And apparently this was 2 years ago. We need to look this up because this is getting a little weird now. The fucking Simpsons is getting weird. They're getting it every time. So fuck the CNN. Fuck this. I'm watching the Simpsons. I'll go back to watching the Simpsons.
Get my news from the Simpsons.
Yeah, give me a few lotto numbers here and there. But they had their score. The score was exact.
Okay.
I don't know. It was in the bar, and it was on in the background. It wasn't even part of the show. It wasn't even a topic.
Right.
It was in conversation and talking, and the fucking TV was on in the back. And the guy, I saw some guy. They said, "Look, zoom in here." The score was exact.
Get the fuck out of here.
All right, get it right
now, maybe now did they replay it, or is that something you saw on YouTube?
Excuse me, it's a good beer. So somebody reposted it as I guess on his own channel and said, "Hey guys, once again the Simpsons called it."
Because if they replayed it, there's a good chance that they could edit certain.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that the person who did it for likes on his channel.
Right.
I think he fake news. You know what I'm saying? I think he made it up just to show people. Right. Wow, look, so and so's channel says that it was. This is the how do you say, the proliferation? Is that the right way to say proliferation of news and data?
Okay.
We have too much data floating around that it's you ever see a form or your job or whatever else, and you got this, hey, give me a 209 form and fill it out, and it's so fucking rexographed so many times that it's illegible.
Yes.
It's horrible. I can't stand that thing. Make a new fucking form. Create a new one. I hate it. You know when that happened to me? They stole my car years ago.
Okay.
At the train station. They used to fucking...
At Jamaica?
The same place I told you where they used to bust rocks and steal my radio. Well, they finally took the whole fucking car. I was like, thank you, God damn it.
That's right. At least I got a decent insurance claim now.
Yeah, now I can fucking claim.
Now I can get a new car.
But I sat out there for about 4 hours waiting for a cop, right?
4 hours?
Dude, when I kid you not, 4 hours, I tried everything.
The station is...
I said, because you know what? I'm standing there with a bag of glass, like, I'm thinking,
I got the shit.
Hey, don't
walk away. Walk around, please.
Walk around. Crime scene here. So I'm standing there, and I tried everything from the hey, this is Mr. Rosenthal. Someone stole my car, and I'm standing here in a neighborhood that's really not that friendly. Can you send someone down, please? I tried all that shit. I kept calling. I was like, listen, there's some undesirable people here. They're coming. It's turning dark. And I'm like, yo, these fuckers would not come. So when the guy got there, I'm sitting on the curb. Battery's dying, like cell phone. At the time, I think I had a StarTAC or something like that. One of the flip phones or some shit. Yeah. And the guy gets out. I'm like, hey, what the fuck? And he goes, whoa, hey. I said, relax. Here's a form. You need to fill this out. And the form was so fucking illegible. I said, what's that say? He said, read it. I said, you read it. I said, what does this say? Well, I don't know what I was like, you guys can't copy straight. The shit was off the page. Like, words ran off it. It was torn off, like, so haphazardly. And he says, I'm afraid to tell you that most 90% of car thefts are insurance frauds and scams. So we give you some time to think about it. I was like, what the fuck? Are you serious? The cop tells me, we gave you some time to think about it to make sure, you're doing the right thing here. 90% of the time that we get here, the people left.
We really need to reevaluate who becomes police officers. We really do. Because unfortunately, that's an exemplification of, there's a class of people who, number one, they want to be police officers.
Yeah.
They understand that they are a public servant, and they are there to. They're a public servant. Is that better?
Yeah. Yeah, it just sounds better.
Okay. They're a public servant. They're there to serve a need. They're there to protect. People want to say, well, police officers should get home safely. No, they shouldn't get home safely.
Right.
If it's between you and a police officer not getting home safely, you should get home safely.
Right.
And that police officer should be in jeopardy because that's what they've committed themselves to do.
He should have a few scratches on
him. And
then
there's a class of people that really are not qualified to do any fucking thing else other than pass that goddamn police exam. Yeah. That person should not be any fucking cop.
Yeah, you're right about that. I mean, I listen, I'm seeing it all the time, and it's just like such a judgment call. Like, okay, I get it if it's the rule, but when it leaves you to personal judgment, and you're the one saying, "I'm going to make a decision not to do this," or this is like if that's a system thing in their precinct or whatever. Hey, stolen car call. Wait this long. That's fucked up. The policy of it is where I'm mad at. Listen, whether they thought it was fraud or not, that's not for you to determine.
That's right. That's not your determination.
You're not the judge of that. Right. Like, it's not a court. You're not the one. Hey, you come, you fill out the report, you keep it moving.
Right.
Okay, sorry to hear, buddy. You okay? Is a cab or whatever.
Right.
I said, you guys gonna give me a ride? He said, the only way you're riding in this is to the precinct. So, train station's right there, buddy. I'm like,
I am so sorry your wife fucked your goddamn uncle. I'm really sorry. I am really sorry that your life has become just a shit. I'm really sorry that your fucking daughter's on the pole.
You're talking about the cop.
The cop, yes. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry all that shit because that's the only thing I can excuse you for being this shitty human being that you are when you show up to somebody who's in need. Somebody's in fucking that's a distressful thing.
Yeah,
to have.
But I can only imagine like if again listen, I tried the Sal Rosenthal voice and that didn't work. So it was no sympathy.
Maybe that's why. Maybe they said, "Hey, look, on this phone call, this dude was Sal Rosenthal.
Then he was
fucking Jaime something else, whatever. Maybe that's what.
Yeah,
but
shit. I mean, that was after 2 hours later. Then I tried the other voice, and then whatever. So, funny story about that was like totally different, but how you curse out some authority or whatever else. I was in a club in Vegas, MGM club. Forgot the name of it. They change them every time. Like they become something else.
New buyers or new investors and stuff like that.
But we were at one of my hospitality events, and every year there's a big show there, right? And everybody has big parties and whatever. So a couple of what happened? Oh, this is what happened. So we were dancing. Everybody was kind of we were in rare form. Like most people are professional and working all the time, and you're doing deals and stuff like that. You don't really get to see and hang out with people. So you get this 1-2 nights in Vegas.
You can just cut up and just not.
Yeah. So I'm dancing with this designer who I'm working with on a project, and we're just kind of cutting loose a little bit. And I feel a nudge bump me in the back. Guy trying to pass by. I'm like, all right, cool. Again. I'm like, God damn it, what the? And I look behind me and I go, I see all this room. It's not even tight. It's not even a tight squeeze. So I said, yo, we cool? You know what I'm saying? And he was like, what you mean? I said, is this a problem? I said, you keep bumping me. He said, oh, is there a problem? And I'm like, I said, you trying to make it a problem? And then all of a sudden he did this. And he put a flashlight out. Click, click, click. Right over my head, like a halo. Like, click, 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 click. Right? Flashed it on me. And I'm like, what the hell are you doing? What is this? What kind of... I'm security. He works here. Fuck you, your security.
Right.
3 Samoans come with the big long hair, the Hawaiian... Come on, man. Come on, man. Yo. Come on, buddy. Oh, go. You go. Look, go. We'll come out. I'm in the fucking lobby. Now people are coming in. The line to get in this place was getting ridiculous. It was crazy. And I'm standing out there and I'm like, yo, what's going on? I mean, your ID, sir. Took my ID. It's like, listen, So I said, listen, I got bottles coming. Like we paid for bottles, this and that. And, he's like, it's okay. Don't worry about it. We'll take care of that. Don't worry. I said, I'm not paying for it. I'm telling you now. $1,000 on my company card for bottle service coming. Whatever. Yeah, we gotta get you out of here. If you do that to me, you'll do that to because I pushed him back. Like, and so he said, if you push me, you'll push one of our guests, and we can't have a guy like you here in the club. We don't want you here. Fuck you. I said, you know what? Hey, what happened there? That looks weird.
That does look weird.
That's not us.
Ooh,
let's do a stop and
look like that.
You hold on to that.
Reset.
Yeah,
it's the government.
Hi. Is that better?
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
Better?
That was weird.
That was really weird.
We have 2 cameras going at the same time. Samoan dude, fucking.
Yeah, the fucking Samoan.
So come with me. I can't even muster the air to fucking say complete words.
I couldn't even think he couldn't even breathe. The guy was like so. He had one chin, like his chin went right to his chest, like just one big Ram Man looking guy. So he's like, your ID, sir, you're this and that. And I said, listen, man, I got bottles, I got this. I said, matter of fact, I want to speak to the manager. You want to speak to the man? And I said, listen, you know what? I'm so sorry that you got to get up and go to Walmart tomorrow and check bags. Nice life, man. But don't fuck with me. I said, I know you work at Walmart. I saw you there. You're a security guard at Walmart. Leave these good people alone, man. We're just having a good time here.
Spending my hard-earned money.
Yeah, hard-earned cash, man. And
give you a job.
Yeah. And I said, I know you got to be at Walmart at 6 a.m. It's cool. And the guy is like, you're a funny guy. I said, yeah, all right. Yeah. He says, yo, you think this is it? Like, I just work here. I'm about that life. He's telling me. And I was like, listen, bro, I don't know what you think, man, but whatever. He said, all right, let me go take you to the manager then if you want to be so, he said, the manager's right here. I'm walking down the hall, and I'm fucking kicking. I'm
Yeah.
drunk as shit.
Yeah.
I'm kicking and screaming. I'm like, fuck off me. It's this fucking place. You think this is fucking Vegas? You think it's my first time in Vegas?
Shitty.
Yeah, this place sucks. I designed half of this shit. I'm talking like I'm a big fucking designer. I work for Steve Wynn and that. This place shitty. And the guy says, yeah, the manager be right with you, sir. He opens the door. Yeah, and I'm walking kind of backwards, and I'm like, you Walmart motherfucker, this and that. Door closes. I'm outside in the fucking garden. He pushes me out the fucking exit. Four black doors, no handle on it. Hey, motherfucker! And it's like, no one to scream. It's fucking flowers. It's like the back of the hotel. Like, no, it's not even a path. It's not even it's like fucking hedges and shit. I'm like, and you see the big torch lamps that shine up on the side of the MGM. The fucking lion is there. I'm like under the lion and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? How the fuck? I couldn't even I'm stepping in mud. The sprinklers are on and shit. I was like, fuck, shit. I'm walking out through.
When keeping it real goes wrong.
Yo, I sobered up so fucking quick. I was out in the fucking garden, and I was like, this is some bullshit.
Tell me at least you took a piss in the garden.
I pissed on the wall. I peed on the wall because I had to go. I was like, these motherfuckers here. And I pissed on the wall and shit. And I said, I bet you if I piss. That's what I said to myself. I said, I bet you if I piss out here,
somebody open the door.
And open the door. So, yeah, you motherfuckers. Yeah. Fuckers.
Oh, man.
Yo, and then I go back around. And I said, fuck this. I'm going back in. I'm going back in. And I got mud on my shoes. I look like a fucking hobo. And they're looking at me like, get him out of here. You know what I'm saying? And one of the girls, and she was like, no, we're leaving here anyway. It's dead. We're going to the other spot. And yeah. Take her advice, buddy. And he's like looking at me like, yeah, it'll be on site with you if I see you. I was like, yeah, see you at Walmart, motherfucker.
That's right.
I walked off and I was like, shit. It was mud. And we go in a cat. And she did the same thing to me. I'm thinking we're going to another party. She was like, yeah, wait. She said, what hotel you at? I said, yeah, I'm just across the street at the Luxor. She said, all right, cool. She gets in the cab with me. Check this shit out. I was just having one of those nights. She gets in the cab with me. I'm thinking we're going to the next spot. She gets in the cab, goes through the cab, goes out the door, closes the door. Luxor, take a
wow. That's a veteran. That's a.
I'm in the car like, hey, I thought we were going to the other party. Fuck this, my night's over. Sat in the fucking car, and that guy,
oh man,
and that guy, the cab driver is looking at me. You okay, buddy? You know, I said, yeah, take me to my.
Yeah, this is it.
This is it.
That's my cue.
That's my cue.
That's my cue.
I done. Fuck Vegas. I'm like, fuck Vegas. I hate this place.
Well, Vegas can be a shitty spot. I mean, like, you know, when you turn the lights on in Vegas, it's like, holy, this place is fucking crappy. You know, when the lights are off and the shiny things are there and all that stuff, ooh, and everything's great. You turn the lights on and walk down the strip in Vegas at 11 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, yeah, it's fucked up.
Like, this is the shittiest place that ever fucking existed.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I mean, Vegas will eat you up, man. I mean, Vegas is just a town that 3 days is too much. You know what I'm saying? 3 days is more than enough. You got 1 or 2 nights. So I like it when I go for these events because shit, everything's paid for. Like, you know, everything's hey, come here. We're having dinner here. I'm like managing dinners. I'm like eating 3-4 places at a time. You know, I'm like, hey, well, you know what? I gotta meet. I promised somebody else I'd see him, but this was great. Thank you. See you. Keep on moving. And I took my wife. I think the last 2 years ago. I think it was last. Yeah, I took her and I said, why don't you just come? Because our anniversary falls on it.
Okay.
Actually, 3 years ago because we went to Punta Cana last year. Yeah. So 3 years ago, I took her and I said, you know, I go every year. It fell on our anniversary time, and I said, why don't you come? It'll be fun. We'll have some fun, and we'll just, you know, see.
I'll do business shit, and then
but you can see what it's all about. So you see why I'm out here doing, you know, hustling and meeting and talking to people, shaking hands and kissing babies. And she at the end of the first day, she was like, no, I don't. This is ridiculous.
Time to go.
Just fucking walking around this convention center and meeting people and talking. You talk all day. You're just talking. It's just, I said, that's what I got to do, you know. You try to meet new clients, meet new business. So really weird. But the highlight of it is the helicopter ride around Vegas,
nice,
which is fucking awesome. Yeah. Now, you've ridden a helicopter before?
Yes.
It's fucking insane.
It's insane, yes.
The noise level is high.
The noise level is high, and I don't know about you, but there is always a feeling that I'm, number one, either going to fall out, or number two, there's no way that this shit can stay up in the air. This is defying physics.
Yeah.
How are we fucking keeping this thing up in the air?
I was totally baffled by it. So this thing, this place was I guess a tour place or whatever, and we had a dinner there. And again, it was similar to the other one. We're drinking and fucking thing, and now we get on the fucking helicopter. So we're
Jesus, right? Plan that better.
just do the excitement thing first, and then come back.
And have a drink.
I wish. So we get on this, and actually, when you sign up for it, you're actually standing on a scale pad, a weight pad. It weighs you.
Okay.
So when you you hand out your information, you hand it, they're weighing you.
Right.
And then it's like 6 people flying this copter together. So they're putting the computer is matching
all the weights, making sure.
Going, okay, these 4 can go. These 5 can go, 6 can go. Oh, we could take one more 50-pound person. So then my wife, she got on a scale. What happened? Something happened. Oh, and she handed me, oh, babe, hold my bag. Whoa! You didn't have that bag before. I was like, wait a minute. You're saying that this bag will offset the whole fucking thing? Like, there's no tolerance between a handbag with shit in it with, this thing may go bad, like, because of the bag. They was like, no, we got to reweigh you again with the bag, please. The bag. Wow. Everything that you're taking with you, stay with you. I get it, but the fact that the bag would have made it, they scared the shit out of us. Like, yeah, if you don't have everything that you had, I said, well, if I took a piss after, I'm weighing
right.
He said that's a little tolerable, whatever.
Well, how many times you see it at the airport? How many times you go to the airport, you see people taking shit out of their luggage because apparently that extra 1.5 pounds you have in your luggage is going to throw shit off, so you can only have like 50 pounds.
Well, that's listen, and I agree, but that's one thing that when it comes to like airplane safety and all that stuff. Like, you gotta kind of at least go with what the people are saying. Like, the airline, absolutely. You gotta kind of like comply.
I will default to that, as opposed to being like, if you were part of Aaliyah's crew who said, hey, fuck that, we need to listen to this dude. Well, you're all fucking dead now.
Right.
So
right. Wow, what a fucking
listen to that group. Because apparently, the sad part about that story was like the pilot, I think, said, hey,
take all this shit.
I can't take all this shit and all of y'all. And he got bossed down by the crew.
Yep.
And, well, everybody's dead now. So, congratulations.
It's pretty fucked up. It's a sad fucking story. I actually met Aaliyah when I worked in the hotel. It's great. She was fucking blew me away. She was
apparently a really down to earth.
She was cool. She was
like a cool person.
She signed over so she had like all the champagne in her room and stuff, and so she said, we are not allowed to take anything from the guests. So she'd have to write a letter. So I was like, you have to sign. She's like, oh, this is how you're going to get my autograph, huh? And I said, I'm who are you? Like, I wasn't sure. I knew she was somebody famous because they have a star.
Like you have to be. All this shit is.
Well, they put a star on the thing for celebrities when we go service the rooms and stuff. I was serving minibar bottles at the time. That's when I was in the early part of my hotel career. And they had it's an asterisk on the form, and it's usually an alias. So it'll say Roger Rabbit, Elmer Fudd, it'll be characters, like cartoon characters. So you won't really know who it is until you look into the folio, and it'll be like Warner Brother artist. It'll say, so it's funny because the Warner Brothers used to use all Warner Brother characters.
Gotcha.
For their guests.
Bugs Bunny.
And shit like that, it's like, come on. That's kind of like a code word for
Bugs Bunny?
Mr. Bunny?
Mr. Bunny, Bugs.
Bugs.
With Michael Ron Mexico.
Ron Mexico. Was that his alias?
Yeah, when he would check in the hotels.
And what's the other guy
we would order hookers under Ron Mexico or some shit like that.
And Johnny Manziel had an alias, right? He had...
I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure he did. I'm sure everybody who's like of that stature, when we don't check in under your name.
Yeah, they'll do that all the time when I see the trailers in the city with the principal actor.
Yeah,
they'll say,
you see him all the time. I see Desi Arnaz.
Yeah,
on the thing.
All Lucy the time. And Desi. Yeah.
Right. It's usually the case. So,
and speaking of Johnny Manziel, he was at the Oklahoma game.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was sitting in the stands and. I heard he got rejected from the football league in Canada.
Did he really?
Yeah, this guy's got no luck. This guy's like a bad.
Hope he saved his money.
Yeah, but wasn't he a wealthy family? Like, wasn't his family either decent or well off? Or...
I think. Yeah, I don't think he was.
Yeah, he wasn't no rags to riches.
He wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't a rag. Yeah, exactly. But I mean, he signed a huge contract, so he's got so he should be fine now. How he puts his life together after it, because it looks like he's not going to be a football player. So now you gotta put a life. But
does
together
he get to walk away with that money? Does he get to?
If you sign a contract, a certain amount of the money is guaranteed to you. Okay. So a certain amount of that money is guaranteed. It's not like baseball, because baseball, like once you sign, that's your money. So there's very little. Football, they have like a certain portion of it is yours, but then another portion we're going to hold off if you hit certain markers or stuff. Like, okay, we're going to keep you on for this next year, so okay, we'll give you this much amount of money and stuff like that. Yeah, but it's still, I mean, he's still a relatively wealthy man.
I would assume. I would hope so. I mean, but he had some Instagram model chick wife hugging on her, and she had a ring on. And everybody was making that like, oh boy, here you
go.
He had like a fake Kim Kardashian, like she was like clearly modeled herself after Kim Kardashian. Like she almost damn near looked like her. People was like, is that a Kardashian with him? That's like a verb now. That's like a.
Did you get a Kardashian?
Yeah, did you get a Kardashian? Is he
an anti-Kardashian?
Yeah, fuck man. But how was your week? Otherwise, it was
good. Crazy? It was good. Nothing crazy. Work as you see. Yeah. But, you probably saw my wife made her post.
Yes.
My wife made her post making the official announcement. That I'm going to be a daddy again.
Yes.
I'm going to try this shit again. See if I get it right this time.
Yeah. Well, you got a lot of experience now.
Well, you can call it that. That just means I'm old.
Well, listen, you've been down the road before, and I'm sure there's tons of things you can say, hey, I don't have to do this anymore.
I don't have to do this anymore. If I had an opportunity to do this again, I'd do it differently.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right.
So I'm living through like certain portions of my life, so I'm getting to do over again.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Again. Obviously, I got married again, and so building a foundation again. Yeah. And so, yeah, so
fun stuff.
Yeah, so she made the announcement. She was supposed to. Her and your wife, we wanted them to do like their version of a podcast, but they keep like each one says if the other one will do it, I'll do it. So Teresa will say, well, if Keisha does it, I'll do it, and Keisha says, well, if Teresa will do it, I'll do it. And which means neither one of y'all are going to do it.
Exactly. So my wife is definitely afraid of the camera. She's like a vampire. She thinks it steals her soul or whatever it is. Neferatu. That's Feratu. Nosferatu. Yeah, she just can't do it. She just
No. It's funny when you okay, so we made this announcement, and of course people close family you've known for a while and stuff like that. But then people start asking questions. And so they get upset when we don't have answers. Well, the next question is, well, are you expecting a boy or girl?
Right.
And so we've decided that we're going to hold off as long as we can to figure out, to know if this is going to be a boy or a girl.
Right.
We're just going to hold off as long as we can. Right. I'm not saying we're never going to know, but as far as right now, we're really not concerned with...
More concerned with the health.
Boy, girl.
Right. We're concerned with the health.
When we say that to people get a little, don't you want to know? Like, no, we don't.
Right. Then they put you in a class, and then you're one of those.
Yes,
you're the anti.
Yes,
you're one of the committee. No, that's not the main focus right now.
And it's baffling because people don't. Because once that happens, then all of a sudden, like people can't like navigate their response to the to whatever's going to be the appropriate. To what they think is going to be the appropriate thing. That's what I'm saying.
I think that's what they're looking for, so that they could buy you something or whatever. They want to make their life easier and just, I don't know what to get them. Right. I don't, that's not the important part of it.
Right.
Like at this point, I mean, is it really super necessary to have stuff rather than a monetary donation or,
no, it's not.
Stuff is irrelevant. Go buy what you want to buy. Like, I will say that when we had the baby shower for the kids and stuff like that, it was great to see the support, and it was but it was a little overwhelming with the stuff. Like we had boxes and Pampers stacked up to the kazoo. We had nowhere to, and some of it went bad. Like it got wet. Something happened, and so if they would have all just been gift cards, or they would have been, something that would have been,
I'm curious to what would happen if we were to say, if we were to say.
Monetary.
Because we're actually thinking about doing this. We say, hey, look, you know what? We're really not we're okay with stuff.
Right.
We have enough stuff.
Right.
We got tons of friends, we got tons of family that that we're going to use their stuff because everybody keeps their stuff. Everybody keeps their old onesies and all that stuff like that, and stuff like that. We have all that stuff. So you know what? If you could just make a small donation to this college fund and stuff, then that's fine with us. I'm curious as to what the response would be if we decide to do that. We haven't decided if we're going to do that. No.
That would be fun. I mean, that would be a smart way to.
Because I'm not concerned about who cares? And then the whole is it a boy or is it a girl? Okay, so do you care if you buy a pink or a blue onesie? What difference does it make?
This is what drives people nuts.
It's a little thing that is just it doesn't even have. It's not even. I don't even know what to, other than a baby. What else do you call it? It's like it can't do anything on its own, so it doesn't have any. We're not determining anything for this kid, so I'm sure it's not going to say, "Hey, what's up with this blue fucking onesie?"
A blue,
blue? What the fuck?
I like yellow.
God damn it! You fuckers getting this shit wrong already.
Baby Finster.
That's not going to happen. So I'm curious as to how if we decide to do that.
Yeah, but people just they just have all this anxiety, and if you're the ones that have to not have the anxiety. So
exactly, yeah.
So I don't know. I like to let people just, hey man, whatever you think is appropriate.
Absolutely.
Just whatever you think. You want to show us something, fine, great. But come up with your own thing. Gift cards are great. They work fantastic. And they're just good for I see Toys R Us and all these places. I'm like, what the fuck is buying these toys and I guess when we outgrow them, you think that kids aren't kids anymore, but I don't see kids playing in the streets. I don't see, all that stuff. I don't, kids want cell phones and tablets now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's just the weirdest thing ever. So when you see these toys, the documentary, again, another Netflix documentary. They are killing these documentaries. Netflix
I love them.
Oh, they are.
You can't get through enough of them.
I'm running out of them. They keep popping up, and there's a new one every time, and I love it.
There are a bunch of great ones coming out. And not even like Netflix. If you decide you want to do Amazon Prime or stuff like that, there's a whole bunch of other shit.
But they have the toys, history of the toys.
The action figures?
Yes.
Yes, I've seen that. I want to check that out.
Oh, that takes you on a trip, man.
Yeah.
It goes back to I can't believe how low tech the concepts were for these action figures and stuff. And they go as far as to talk about how some of the movies came so He-Man was a toy first before it was a cartoon.
I believe that. Okay.
That's what they're saying. They're saying they created this action figure and then they had to actually go and make the show. They made these toys with all these moving parts and these pieces and these characters and stuff.
You'd have to think that's a strategy too.
Yeah, because that's what they were saying. They were going in saying, we got to do something about this fucking Star Wars shit is going crazy.
Right.
And then the guy goes, hey, let's just make up something and make our own universe and Masters of the Universe and all this other stuff with the villain. And they took the same format and they just ran with it with the, villain and his hordes and his cronies. And, it was a very interesting way. And these guys that are sitting there saying they had the best job in the world, all they had to do was just come up with
ideas for toys.
He said, we back then, if crack was around, we were eligible for smoking crack. We just dreaming up shit and going, that'll be fucking awesome. A guy's head spins around and, and it's a great fucking doc. It's a great doc.
Let me check that out.
That one is cool. And the other cool one they just released is called Algorithms. It's fucking awesome. It's awesome. It's really the science of
that. Sounds like it's going to upset me.
It will upset you for the fact that 1 + 1 is 2. We get it. The fact that you have to break it down so much to figure out how do you get to 2, is upsetting because it takes more time to figure out why you got there than to just do it. Than to just do the actual thing that you're doing.
Right.
You almost forget why you're doing it because you're trying to break it down so much. So that's where it could be a little upsetting to you. But
does it get into the you've seen it, right?
Yeah, I watched it.
Does it get into the like advertising and shit like that? And,
yes.
And, yeah.
It breaks down. It even breaks down. It's funny because it even breaks down how an algorithm used in sports and how what we call stats. You were a stat guy. You used to fucking write all these stats down. they're showing you how just by with these programs that have been made, you know, when the facial recognition box comes up, like when we do this and you see the box. So they basically say on this, the way that this is done now has changed the game, because now you can track each piece, each movement, and they've gone as far as to take bees and bees studying they call the traveling salesman problem.
Okay.
Is you got 15 stops to make, and you need to get back home, and you need to do it at a certain time. Where do you go first? Do you go to Texas, Philly? You know, how do you make it more efficient? And they go into so many probabilities. Like if it's 15 places, there's 122 routes that you could do. That'll save you 2 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever. Like Waze, you know, Waze has kind of figured it out. Waze is fucking awesome. I kid you not, when we took Key to the dinner for a birthday Super Bowl night, it took me a different way to Manhattan, to Harlem. My wife, she's sitting there, why you going this way? I said, hey man,
I'm listening to Waze.
Mr. Waze. He's not letting me wrong yet, so I'm gonna trust him. Until the day he sends me on a dead end street or off a cliff, I'll stop using him. You know, one or the other is gonna happen first. And it took me a crazy back way towards the Throgs Neck Bridge.
Okay.
Past the Throgs Neck, down past the Whitestone Bridge.
Okay. Back
to the Grand Central, and then into land right at the foot of the Triborough, and came right across. Fucking insane.
Okay.
Insane. It cut the time in maybe about 10, 15 minutes.
Okay.
And I was a little skeptical. I was like, why are we going this way? You know, and it was like, and I just said, let me just
trust it.
Let me just rock out. But going back to the algorithm, they take these bees and they put these little tracking devices on them, and they look at the path. They put these, what do you call them when they pollinate?
I don't know what it's called, but yes.
Pollination or whatever.
And you create home. So they're going to pollinate and they're going to come home.
Yeah. So they took the path of it, and it was ingenious how the bee on the first try went first, and he went in his own path. Then he obviously comes back, and then he drops off his stuff, whatever. I don't know how they work. Worker bees, I guess. Right. And the pattern, you know, they time lapse it and they show the pattern and they do a thermograph on it. And every time they show he got more efficient in doing it. Like he got faster by going to this one. Like he made up a different route. And once the most efficient path he found, like he did 3 times before he found the right way to go. He repeated it. And went that way every time. Like do. And there's a fucking bee, like on his own, you know. Smart, fucking smart. You know, people looking for supernatural shit. We're so fucking supernatural humans.
Yes.
Like, we're so fucking complex, and I don't know why people are looking at the stars like, when are they coming? We need someone more intelligent than us. We're intelligent.
No, we're about it.
We're it.
We're about it.
We are the magnum opus, whatever you call it, the maximum alpha prime, whatever.
Alpha prime.
Whatever, man. We're so advanced. That we're just kind of bored with being advanced.
I think that's probably what it is. I think we're bored. I think it's an accentuation of this idea that maybe we are just not living up to our potential.
Yeah,
like we are not like, and maybe this whole notion, like, you know, we asked the question of, okay, well, technology that's going to remove us from certain jobs, like certain, like let's say in the next 50 years. 75% of the people who drive as an occupation, those people will not have jobs.
Right.
You know, so now what do you do? And now do you just unleash this potential that you have to, you know, start your own business, make your own shit, live for yourself and all that stuff? Are we becoming a little bit more, are we being forced to sort of actualize our own potential or die and become, you know, necessarily a drone that just goes to and from, back and forth, and just does, you know, does the thing, does the minutia, the little minute details, as opposed to saying, hey, wait a minute, I can do something, I can do a little bit more.
Well, I mean, I think it just separates individuals, and that's why you have, you know, quote unquote celebrities or athletes or people that are somewhat more superior in their craft or whatever, comedians, actors. And people look at it and say, sitting on the couch. Man, this guy's everywhere. Like fucking, like take Ryan Seacrest or something.
Right.
This guy's everywhere.
Yeah,
like,
does everything. This guy, his name on so much shit.
I want to look in his medicine cabinet because he's probably got fucking like Quaaludes, crack. He probably has a nice assortment. He's probably got a nice assortment.
Downers,
fucking tightening creams and fucking, you know, he probably gets a little liposuction here and there to just keep him. I mean, the guy he's this big. He's like 5 feet something. He's like a little guy.
Yeah, he's a
little guy. But man, this guy will fucking go around the world and back and be back at New York for lunch and then go to LA, and then I'm like, this guy has a fucking time. He's got a teleporter.
Yeah,
he's got it.
He must
have figured it out, man.
But as we have more creators, does that also mean we need to make sure that we have enough consumers? Because as the more consumers become creators, well, then
who's buying?
Who's creating a sense of monetization that you can live off?
But creators are consumers too. You know what I'm saying? They live, eat, and buy too. True. They buy clothes. They, you know, they're consumers too. So, and some people may give them things, may offer it to them so that they could promote their brand. They're still consumers. I would maybe just not at the percentage of, you know. Right. You take the Johnson family. I'm sure they don't have like fucking baby powder all over the house and shit. Hey, let's get some more lotion on this free.
It's baby powder day.
By the way, speaking of days, National Paper Cup Coffee Day was such a success that Dunkin' Donuts said they're getting rid of the fucking thing and staying only with the paper cup coffee.
Are you serious?
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
Big up to fucking Dunkin' Donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts went and said, no more foam cups. They're getting rid of them. They will be off the shelves as soon as they can, like run out of inventory or whatever.
Right.
Only use paper cup coffees.
Holy shit!
I bugged the fuck out. I saw it on the news and it says paper cup coffee is making a comeback. I'm like, you motherfuckers are listening. You listening and you act like you don't listen. But they went.
So our strategy should be: do we support Dunkin' Donuts or do we stand outside Dunkin' Donuts and say, "Hey, fuckers, we're the ones who fucking hipped you up to this shit. Well, pay your check. Give us a check. Where's our check?"
Well, I think I think we've done it. I think we've done enough to just caramelizing it in the event. It's evident. It's out there. People know we pushed it, and I don't know if they did it for us, you know what I'm saying? I doubt that very seriously. It'd be nice to think. It's severely an environmental thing. I mean, styrofoam is a bastard. I mean, styrofoam is a fucking is McDonald's. I mean, styrofoams is like McDonald's French fries. Those shits will last over time, and
I think there's like going to be a serious push to try to get rid of like plastic bags too.
Yeah, it's
because it doesn't decompose. It doesn't
dangerous. But some of them are the newer ones that fall apart on you. They're biodegradable, and you put them in. I've actually put one in the soil and see if it would break down. I had two. One of them did.
Okay.
One of them did. I put it in the soil, just left it in the backyard, buried it, and I put like fucking scraps in there, like celery and compost, like just so it'll help metabolize and stuff. And one bag, it was actually in the bag. It was all scraps. I left it in there for like 6 months. I forgot about it, and I was like, oh, let me go see. And I dug the one space up. It was completely gone. Like it was just worms and shit went through it and whatever else. And the other one was right in the bag. It was just soggy fucking.
Now, what if it makes mutant worms?
It's very possible.
Like in that movie Squirm. One of the earliest. That guy, that had to have been like 70. Yeah. What? 77, 78, somewhere around there.
Those movies were great because I guess the newness of it, when you go back and watch them now, it's like,
God, they're the stupidest fucking thing I ever seen. But at the time, that was just some scary shit.
Like all those those ants and all those other things with the rats and all that stuff, the giant rats.
What was that movie?
Ben?
Ben was one of them. But what was that movie? Food of the Gods.
Food of the Gods.
Food of the Gods.
That's the one I'm talking about.
Yes.
That was 5 times.
It made everything huge.
Oh, I watched it recently.
Right. And these fucking
Peter Fonda. It's Peter Fonda and yeah.
And these rats as big as fucking Cadillacs were just.
It's amazing how the juxtaposition of the camera, like what they did, was almost genius. Like just look at this rat. It was just the camera was blown up, and they overlaid it over.
They had like a giant wasp. I think they had like a lizard or some shit like that. But then the rats just fucking
like Downsizing. You seen that movie? The Matt Damon one. That's pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah, it's pretty weird. It kind of speaks to what we said earlier about where technology goes and about our extinction and so forth. You know the concept of it? You know?
Well, I think so in order for you to live on the amount of money that you have, if you decrease your necessity for things, in other words, decrease your size and stuff, what you have is now 15 times more than what you have.
The guy was, his bills were falling apart, his house was going to be this, and his car was being repoed, and they were struggling on cash, and couldn't get the job he was looking for, and his buddies did it, and hey, we went and downsized, and and he's like, "Is that Jim? That's Jim?" Now think about it. On social media and all your interaction digitally, you look the same. You're the same person.
You can't. Okay, all right.
Camera to camera, it's me. Hey, what's up, buddy? How you doing? But I'm this big now. Right. And then they show him if you downsize your numbers. She took the calculator. She was like, you'd have $13 million in so and so, blah blah blah. You're good for the rest of your life. It's like hitting the lotto. And they were like, and they showed him the house. Oh, you'd be moving into it was like a Barbie doll. And the guy opened it. Hey, how's it going? Neil Patrick Harris. Hey, this is my lovely mansion in Smallville. And it's crazy. It's fucking sick. But everyone who's working or whatever else, call centers, did all the stuff that you don't have to be full size to do. They're talking on the phones. They're doing customer service. They're on computers and they're working. They're like bees. They're doing all the work, and people are still doing movies. They're acting because it's all small. So when you put it up to regular size, it's like, wow, we did this in a studio the size of a shoebox. It's insane. So that concept is really weird until a fucking guy comes and kicks the box over. And, you live in this little dome. And, he's looking over and he's like,
you're susceptible.
Hey, you little people, it's like, hurricane.
So in other words, you have more.
You're exposed to more dangers.
You're exposed to more danger.
Yeah, because they have like this, a bunch of ants come in, and the ants came in. They got into our village. So now you have new dangers. You have new dangers and stuff, and they live in these little bubble worms, and it's very. And then there's a bunch of rogue ones that have escaped. They shrunk them, and they're running around in the real world, and they're trying to
get bigger, trying to get back
just
to being
trying
bigger?
To find a place to live and exist because they were shrinking prisoners. That's what it was. Okay. All these prisoners, put them in a little box and a shoebox,
in a little shoebox.
Yeah, and they had a file cabinet like. 30,000 prisoners in here, right. And their own world was living in there. I
like movies like that when it says, okay, well, we'll eliminate one problem,
right?
But in doing so, we've created a bunch of other. One of my favorite movies is this Jim Carrey movie, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
What?
Yes, it's a great movie with Jim Carrey.
You were gonna say Truman Show.
No, Truman Show was a good movie too.
Truman Show
was a good movie too. But Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Gosh,
what it is somebody has devised a way to get rid of certain memories that you have. So what you do is you go through this process, and let's say you break up with somebody and whatnot. You want that memory erased from you.
Yeah.
But so it erases that memory. But what it also does, it takes away all of the things you've learned about yourself, all of the things that you've acquired in that process, in which you attach to that person. And so it begs the question, like do you want to be? Do you want everything hunky dory, or do you want a life in which there's some shit you got to overcome, there's some shit you got to deal with, and that's what life is. Life is about you overcoming those things. I've never heard of
this movie.
Oh, it's a great movie.
I gotta go check it out.
It's a great movie. You're gonna recognize a lot of people in it. Bill, Tom Wilkerson is in it.
Is it one of his older, like his younger?
It's an older movie. It's an
pre-Mask. Is it before the Mask?
I think it's after Mask.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it's after Mask. I think it's what he did, like when he started like demonstrating himself as like a big time comedic actor. I think it's what he did to sort of like throw a little curveball in it.
In Living Color. A lot of guys.
Living Color. That was a great.
It comes on now. It's back on, and
it's back in syndication.
Yeah, I mean it repeats and stuff, but it's timeless. I mean, like all those sketch comedy shows, Mad TV.
Yeah. I used to love Mad TV.
Yeah,
I thought Mad TV was a little bit better than Living Color. But
did you?
I thought so, but still, I mean that's like splitting hairs a little bit.
Well, like Saturday Night Live was the originators of that.
Right.
I mean, to me, I always remember Saturday Night Live with Eddie Murphy and
right.
Belushi,
Joe Piscopo.
Piscopo, yeah. He's still kicking around.
Piscopo, I think so.
He's like doing sports and stuff. Like
I have no idea what
he's doing. A huge announcer guy. He's still, yeah, he's still doing like I saw him doing like College Game Day. Like,
oh really?
Yeah, like College Game Day. Joe Piscopo. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh man, okay.
Yeah, he was pretty funny. But speaking of sports, my daughter's school had the senior night.
Okay.
And she sang the national anthem.
Did she really?
Yeah, she sang that. She's done it a couple of times. She sings the national anthem. She was so under the weather with this flu bug going around.
Oh, she caught the flu?
No, she caught an onset of it. We were just like, my wife was obviously saying, "Look, go to the doctor. Let's figure this thing out because this thing is catching people off guard. This is
a serious strain. My wife's sister caught the flu.
Yeah, it's serious now.
And
I've seen people get really incapacitated. When I've had it pretty bad. I damn near felt this is it. I'm going.
People forget what the flu is. Yeah. Like if you a lot of people at work say that, hey, I'm not coming in today. I think I got the flu. And I said, look, stop saying you have the flu because the flu is totally different than just having a bad cold.
Right.
A lot of people think it's like a bad cold. No, the flu is you're fucking incapacitated.
Yeah.
You're probably barely conscious.
Mm-hmm.
You can't.
Your body temperature's doing.
Your body temperature's doing crazy shit. You're starving, but you can't eat because you can't keep anything down.
Yeah.
You have no. I mean, you can't even walk like from one part of the room to the other part of the room. You're completely incapacitated. Yes, that's the flu.
Yeah, that's the flu.
That's the flu.
When your fucking hair follicles.
Everything hurts. Everything hurts. Touches you to hurt. Touches you to sneeze. Touches you to not sneeze. Touches you to. It hurts. It hurts to do everything. I had the flu once in my life. Yeah. Thank goodness.
Bad.
It's just horrible. It's a horrible feeling. But yes, this is a horrible strand. I think some 75 kids have died.
Yeah, this is bad. I mean, I've seen. I'm here. These numbers are not friendly. I mean, there's kids dying. There's kids. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Well, yeah, and when you read some of the stories, it's horrible. Like they go to a doctor.
Yeah.
And the doctor says, "Hey, we're gonna let's keep him here, overnight, and keep him on IV fluids and stuff like that." And then the next morning, kid's dead. It's like, holy shit! Like, how do you?
That's fucked up.
Tremendously, man.
Sorry to hear that. But yeah, she, senior night. She sang the national anthem, and her dance team danced for the final game. They played Christ the King. Big rivalry game, because obviously
CK and Malloy, right?
Yeah, CK versus Malloy, and because Greg Anthony's son plays on the team, so he's a junior, sophomore, whatever he is, sophomore, talented kid. He's super talented. He's super highlight. They got a 7-footer. This kid Moses going to McDonald's All-American. Great friends of my daughter's.
Christ the King or Malloy?
Malloy.
Okay.
Malloy. He's the only kid from this town, like from Queens, that made it to the McDonald's All-American.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, can't teach height. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think he's 7'2", maybe 7'1", 7'2". He's coming into his. He's going to UCLA, committed.
Okay.
So he's going to UCLA. They just got beat up. But the biggest part of it all was right during the week was this huge controversy with Christ the King. I don't know if you heard.
What? About the Malcolm X shirt?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So it was huge. So obviously.
So you made up Malcolm
X
shirts.
Yeah, okay. Obviously. You know what I'm saying?
Now, what was the thing? Like, she didn't. The teacher said he can't wear this shirt, or
yes.
Or is that what it was?
So for senior night, allegedly, the kid, they order their shirts for senior night, and you fill out a form and say what name you want to put on it, and the kid's name is Malcolm Xavier.
Okay.
So
it's his name.
It's his name.
Okay.
It's not a nickname. It's not a I'm not playing. This is my
Right.
name. Everyone else can get their name. Why can't I?
Right.
And the assistant principal, who, which our guest Joanne is, that's her brother.
Okay.
Her brother's the coach, and that's his sister-in-law. So it kind of touches a lot because we know them. We know the family, and we're sorry that there's involved in this controversy, but also we're members of the community too, and we're looking at it like, wow, how could where do you, like we talked about the cop, where do you come off making this judgment call of saying this is not, and what harm would it have done? I don't understand, hey, this is not appropriate to walk around the school. We don't represent Malcolm X. Like, that's what you're telling people.
Now, did the teacher say he couldn't wear it, or did the teacher say that this could be, because I didn't read anything about it. I just saw highlights of it. I mean, like little bits and pieces.
Yeah. I read the article.
So I don't want to make a judgment on it. But did she say, no, he can't wear this? Or did she say, hey, by wearing this, you might incite certain, you might incite certain things that aren't necessary?
The ad specifically, her statement says that she completely don't think it's a good idea for him to wear this.
Okay.
And they joked at him and said, you're kidding, right? You really want this on your shirt, and laughed at him. That was what it was. So he felt super insulted that this is his name. And, you go back and tell the kid, I'm sorry your fucking name is Malcolm X. I'm sorry. Too bad for you. Okay. But they don't say that when they cash the check. That's when it's it's $11,000 a year school. So when they're cashing that check, they don't go, oh, we don't accept checks from Malcolm.
So in other words, when he signed up his thing down as like, this is what he wants to put on his shirt.
Yes, right. They said
that should have been a red flag.
That should have been a conversation with his parents. That should have been a, hey, we feel some kind of way about this, and let's talk about this. There should have been a conversation. Okay. I think there should have been a conversation with his parents to say, hey, we really think this is controversial, and we're in sensitive times now, and explain the reasoning for it, not discount it.
Explain
and say,
the rationale.
No, we don't do it, and laugh them off and say, now, I wasn't there, I don't know, and I'm only reading what the New York Times says or Daily News. It's sad that they had to reach that platform. But yet the biggest controversy of it all is there's a monster kid on their team. He's like a freshman or whatever. He's 7 foot, 6'8", 6'10", and they call him King Ape. You know what I'm saying? He calls himself that.
He
wears the fucking shirt with the ape on it. It says King Ape on it. It's got a crown and a monkey on it. You know? Looks like him. He's a monster kid from Africa or whatever he's from. And so the story mentions, why isn't that controversial? Because I guess the answer was, well, he's doing it. This is him saying it, and this doesn't make sense because the kid is saying, this is me wanting to represent. Right. So it's, I guess the trajectory of it is that, why is it, if it's like a kid calling himself a monkey or an ape, right? That's okay. You accept that. You accept that. But a kid calling himself Malcolm X,
you have an issue with.
That's horrible. It's scary.
Because
they're scared. That means they're scared.
That brings up an inconsistency. Well, it brings up an inconsistency.
Correct.
Tremendous inconsistency. Because like if a kid, so it'd be curious if a dude who's, and I'm sure this has happened to other kids before.
I'm a piece of shit. Right. Oh, you can rock that. That's
exactly.
Cool. I'm the president. I'm Donald Trump, or I'm whatever. Right. Now it's, we don't think we should.
Right. Yeah. That becomes like, what if the kid's name? So what if the kid's name is Hitler? What if Andrew Hitler? And he wants a Hitler on his thing. So what do you? It's interesting.
It is interesting because then it goes into, well, if it doesn't work for everyone, then we shouldn't do it. So
you shouldn't do it at all.
We shouldn't do it at all.
Right.
So none of the kids should have their names on their stuff. It should not be an option because, but mind you knew everyone's name because you have their official documents. They pay you a check every month. You accepted them to your school when you said, "Hey, I think you'd be a good kid for our school."
This is not an unknown,
right?
It's not an unknown fact. It's not a random thing. It's not like the dude's name was Fred Thompson, and he said, "Hey, I want Malcolm X on my shit."
Right, and which I'm wondering at what point, because it is a uniform school or whatever, they have to wear their uniforms, and I guess certain clothes. My daughter gets it all the time. She wears a non-school thing. She gets a detention.
She can do that at certain. She can do that at certain. But you can do that at certain times, right?
Yeah, they tell you when. They know when it's like Spirit Week or it's.
Do you like that? Do you like Like uniforms?
I do.
Yeah,
I do. I like it only because it gets rid of that problem of your clothes, my clothes,
right,
and then it's a fashion show every day. And
right,
it's the kids are now more than ever. The kids are, it makes dressing and clothes more of a treat and a privilege to have something, an appreciation, because the weekend comes and you get to
right,
wear your stuff and
right.
you get to feel regular. But I do like the school uniform style only because of the way society has. I think it's a good way to combat the socialism of clothing in schools.
Right.
I don't like
For
it.
for people who for young adults who don't know how to interpret that.
Right.
Who don't know how to interpret that. Now, if somebody like I'm sure if you're who you work for told you and told me, say, hey, you got to dress a certain way, but like, hey, fuck you. I'm
Right.
I'm gonna or I'm not gonna follow this thing to the T.
Yeah, I mean, well,
like that.
Listen, I that happened to me working in the hotel business when I first got the job. The first thing they said was, you got to cut all that shit off your face, all that dirt. They called it dirt.
Wow.
They called hair dirt. It was like, cut all that. You got to take all that dirt off your face. And I was like, it's hair. It's natural. God, this is, I was born with this. You're telling me, you need a razor. You got to be clean shaven every day. You can have a mustache, but it can't go past, it can't be a handlebar. It can't be, the Fu Manchu and all that stuff. So, and I was really upset at this and I did it. I did it. And I, as you, have this curly skin, thick, coarse hair that curls up under me, and I get these bumps and raises, and I have to let it grow out before I can cut it again.
Right.
You can't just keep.
You can't just do it every day, right?
No,
you can't shave every day.
I came looking like
tried that.
Yes. I look like a raspberry. Come in there like, this is what you like? I'm bloody. I'm dripping blood.
I'm dry.
Little crusty bubbles, and I'm standing there. Hi, can I help? I'm here. I'm shaving.
Dehydrated from all the alcohol I got to put on my goddamn face.
No, I'm clean shaven. This is what it looks like. Is that better than a nice little beard or whatever else?
A neat beard, right?
Yeah. And then I go into the office, and when I got a different position, I met one of the guys, and he was like, "I'm Jewish. We don't shave. It's my hair. It's a religious thing.
Yeah,
I'm a fucking rabbi, whatever you want to call it." I was like, "Oh, me too.
Yeah,
it's just religious."
That's religious.
I don't believe it. Like I don't believe I should cut it. So my faith. Are you questioning my faith? And they were like, "You're making problems. Like you just don't want to listen to the narrative here, and you're not following it." And I became the go against the grain guy. And I will tell you, ever since I did that, but I did it after, like, I was 5 years in the company.
After you demonstrated your proficiency.
I got all these promotions. I hit the ceiling. I got on the executive board, and at that time I said, fuck this. I'm not doing it. He's not shaving because he says he's got what validation? What, the priest sends you a letter? What,
right, exactly, right.
So I was like, listen. So I did get a medical letter that says that because of shaving, my skin is reacting and has coarse skin. A dermatologist wrote me a letter, and it was like he can't shave in excess of 3 to 5 days in space. And he's like, listen, I'll shave once. I'll shave Monday.
Yeah, and then that's it.
And that's it. Well, by Friday,
right.
That's it. And I'll shave again Monday. I'm shaving once a week. This is
it's amazing how we attach those things to mean something else when it really has, like you having a beard, it has nothing to do with how proficient you are at your job.
I was behind the house at the time. I was back of house. I was like in the storeroom.
So you weren't even presenting yourself as a representative of blah, 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 blah.
In the earlier years when I was serving the bottles in the rooms, I was what they call an ambassador. Like, you're knocking on people's doors. Hi, I'm from the minibar department and need to check your fridge. Fucking guys like fucking Red Method Man and Red Man smoking in the room. We ain't order shit. And they spray me with fucking Lysol. I kid you not, Red Man. I know you remember this shit. Motherfucker, I knocked on the door and motherfucker said, "Nah, we ain't." Nigga sprayed me with like Lysol. Like, they was just spraying some shit. Oh shit, fucking guys. Because they think you're like trying to, I don't know, sneak in and see their shit or whatever else. We had a lot of celebrities in there. I remember fucking Drew Hill. I almost got into a fucking huge argument with one of these guys, man. I'm like, dude, what do you say? Oh, you trying to get this guy been trying to get in our room, man. He like following us around and stuff. I said, no, like, I work here.
I work here.
I work here. You're just a customer. I don't know who you are or whatever else. I mean, the blonde hair kind of got you, kind of gave you away.
Yeah, your dark skin and blonde hair.
Yeah. And the fat guy, Jazz or whatever his name was, the real singing guy, the
one that could sing,
the one that really could sing. He was like, "Yo, man, just we just be getting a lot of groupies up here. We just trying to make sure, whatever." And I was like, "Listen, that's what security's for. We got it, but we have to service this room. I have to reset that bar." I said, "Then stop opening it, because I could see when they open it."
Right.
And we had a magnetic detection system, and it shows up on the report. Bar's open 52 times.
Right.
If I don't get these charges on your bill, you're going to walk out and say, "Nah, we didn't have none of that."
Right.
And they ate the whole fucking thing. They eat candy bars, chocolates. So I came up with the concept to put the total contents of the bar, okay? If you get a key and you accept it, the total contents of the bar is charged to your room, and we come to clear the charges by saying you didn't have it.
Right, the opposite. Do the opposite.
Negative.
Right.
Fucking hotel went.
Oh my God!
Genius. Wild E. Coyote. That's how I got my promotion. I mean, one fucking idea. One idea to just change the fucking business, and they were like, yeah. I said, why not? Charge them the whole fucking thing. And if they don't let us in, it's like anything else. You take a deposit on a car, they swipe you for the whole thing. And then when you bring it back, you get your money back.
Right. Like when you get the I love the new the MTA Long Island Railroad, the app.
The app on the phone? Yeah.
The app on the phone.
Yeah, I love it too.
I love it because you don't have to activate it. You don't have to activate it. You don't have to. You can set it to like just getting ready to activate.
Yeah.
And then just wait for whoever comes around, and when you see them coming around,
you can
activate, and then that's it. But you don't have to activate it. So you can actually. There've been times when you'll sit in the car and
no one comes.
And no one comes.
Yeah, no.
So you got another
day
ticket for a day.
Live another day.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's like one of those little like small victories like for the working man. It's like, oh,
it's no different if you had the paper ticket and they didn't come around. You just tuck it back in your wallet.
But at the same time,
tuck it back in your wallet.
I know it's the same thing. It just feels better.
I know. I have like 2 or 3 tickets on my thing. I have off peak and on peak.
Right.
So then it depends on the time.
You can pick and choose.
Yeah, I can pick and choose. That's what I like about it, that I can just pick and choose. But I don't like when my battery's dying and you're like, oh, hurry up and come take the fucking thing.
I got this this portable battery.
Yeah, I got a couple of them.
Something called Jackrabbit. Fucking, I love this thing.
I have a solar powered one.
Do you really?
Picks up the sun. Yeah.
I love this thing. I'm like, how did I ever do? I mean, it's one of those things where like 10 years ago you never thought about you would need something like this, but now oh my God, I could use some of this shit. That looks fucking delicious.
It does look good.
Whatever that is.
It's stew
something. It's a stewed rabbit.
No, it's super important now. We live, in times where battery life is everything. There's one of these commercials, guys walking around, and all you see is bars over people's
bars over his head. How much energy he has. Yeah. That'd be an interesting thing to have. It'd be an interesting thing to be able to look at somebody and be able to determine.
Oh, you're 32%. Huh?
Yeah, exactly.
How much energy you got?
So maybe I shouldn't pick a fight with this dude because he's like on edge right now.
Oh yeah.
He's a little run down and stuff. And so, if I bump into him, I'll look at his thing and he's on low energy. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, dude. Man, it was a bad day.
Oh, I see you having a bad day.
Yeah, because you don't want to fuck with that. But you see a guy that's like on 75%, you can go, hey, the fuck, man?
There's nothing wrong with you.
There's nothing wrong with you.
Yeah, full battery.
Pay attention. Pay attention where you're going.
That'd be weird, man. But that go super wrong.
Go both ways.
Yeah, it goes really
both ways.
It's like, wow, this guy's got AIDS. Oh, this guy's got a.
It would probably make you.
This guy's got herpes.
Make you
walk away. He's got a big glowing. He's blue. Look, his dot turned blue.
Did you see? I read this article where China is starting to use their law enforcement is now wearing glasses that have facial recognition technology.
Yeah, I seen that.
So that they can determine if you like have warrants or priors or some shit like that.
Shit isn't Mission Impossible. Like it was
in
the movie. It was in the fucking movie, and the guy was walking. He was like scanning.
Well, that technology has always been available. Department stores were using it. Target has that stuff. Facial recognition technology. Yeah, they have that. So when you walk into the store, they can determine if if you were somebody who has stolen from them, or if you've stolen from other, are you in our system?
Wow, we're there, huh?
Some shit like that. Well, we've been there for a while. 1984. Remember the book is 1984.
Yeah,
that was 30 years ago.
Yeah,
So
but
so we're there.
I mean, definitely like this algorithm thing really picks up on a lot of those technologies, and the biggest problem, like Elon Musk always says, is with the bandwidth problem, like speed,
right?
And is really the problem. The technology's there, but doing it to the speed of like making it natural, like
right.
That's the problem that we're having, is that things just take too long to wait for the results. Oh, he's gonna leave the fucking store. Is he a crook or not?
Yeah.
Being he left already, and then criminal.
It's like, criminal. He was a serious pedophile.
You could have had him. So the speed of it all is, and I think who's got it down pat is really catching, which is really working, is the fucking Easy Pass guys, the fucking Easy Pass company.
Okay.
This license plate scanning shit is going fire. They're taking all these toll booths down. It's not a job anymore.
Yeah,
that's not a job.
Yeah,
sucking fumes in the fucking. I want to go to a man toll booth.
Yeah,
Harold.
It's gonna be pretty like it's. I'm surprised it hasn't happened now. To which there are going to be no. There are going to be no. First of all, there's going to be no cash booths, and I think on some there are none.
There's no.
Well, there's usually like one.
Only in small towns, like you go to these small little towns that will charge you a fee to go in. But I have not seen a person in any one of these booths in a long time.
Okay,
in maybe 4 or 5 years, and I travel a lot, going back and forth. Even the airports don't have them. Like that's the only place I do see them. When you leave the airport, I park my car at the airport a lot.
All right,
you do see that, but they will accept your Easy Pass. You could go
right.
It'll charge you Easy Pass. So Cuomo wants to put these nodes around the city that charge you for going in certain areas.
Congestion pricing.
Yeah,
that's what Bloomberg tried to do.
Yeah, Bloomberg tried it. Now he's saying, look, I want to do it. I think it's time. There's certain, and that's fucking crazy. Like that makes it like, oh, I'm in the red zone. I didn't know.
But now we're in a sense.
I love the character, by the way, when he goes super low battery.
Your battery. Shit. But that means we're taxing ourselves.
Yeah.
That means we're agreeing to sort of pay more for shit that we're kind of already paying for. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Extra credit for doing what you're supposed to do.
Right. And so it's kind of like,
I have to go here. What, you're charging me to go to?
Right, you charge me here, and then now you're gonna charge me, and then I got to pay X amount of dollars in my taxes, and now you're gonna charge me a certain amount if I decide to go here instead of going here, and here is a little fucked up, so I'd rather go over here because it's a little bit better. But now you're gonna charge me more for that, and I'm already paying my taxes. So how does that? Like how does that balance out? Like if you're like the everyday, like you and I are, we get up, we got to go to work every day and stuff like that. We got to give our money to so and so that we can use transportation going back and forth. Well, then how does that balance itself out?
Yeah.
How does it balance itself out? Like there used to be a time, and I don't know if they still do it anymore. I mean, maybe I'll figure that out when I do my taxes this year. But if you're paying for X amount of dollars in public transportation, if that's a taxed entity, then that certain amount should be reduced from your taxes.
Well, it's an allowance, so you're allowed to deduct for transportation up to a certain amount. So they put a limit on them. They're caps.
Right.
They're cap limits on it, and it just you're allowed to take a deduction, and you're allowed only a certain amount. It's not all that you spent.
Right.
You can max it out.
It's a fixed amount.
Yeah, it's a fixed amount. So you just take the full deduction. It's $800. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
how much is it?
$800.
That's nothing.
Nothing. No. And all that does is say
it's like 3 months.
Right. They say $800 of your taxable dollars went to doing this service.
Right.
So we'll deduct that from your taxable dollar. Like, so you're not going to pay tax on $800.
Right.
That's all. So it's nothing. It's
nothing. It should be a lot more.
It's like 47 cents back to you.
It should, it should be a lot more, especially if you're going to implement something where it sounds like it's going to be like congestion pricing. Well, then if I decide I'm going to take public transportation, then then so.
I've helped commit.
I've helped it, right? I've
it
committed it. So how come I can't get all that back?
I'm gonna tax you both ways, man. They fucking say, "Fuck it, we get you this way or get you that way." It's just a little cheaper or a little. I mean, at some point, it's just it really makes people say, "Fuck it, I won't go." You'll actually change your mind because of the cost. I hear people all the time say, "I just not worth it for me to go to the city and spend all this money to go
just to go back and forth."
Yeah,
never mind whatever I do when I get out there.
I mean, when I closed the office, that was one of the biggest decision makers for me, and I was like, I'm paying for a building, paying rent, a lease. I'm all this stuff that I am physically doing here at my house. I'm doing the same thing on the computer,
right
here in my pajamas, or whatever else. Same thing, phone, whatever. And I was like, I'm paying.
Like, why am I paying?
Brick and mortar is a thing that's going away. Like, people are walking away from that saying, okay, they're taxing it crazy. The government is, the cities and the municipalities are really going a little overboard. Let's not. And let's still do the same work.
Yeah.
Like,
let's remove this expense from
right.
Right.
Virtual work is becoming more popular.
Yeah.
Remote working. Like the old Manhattan project, the theory of just being in Manhattan is not necessarily a catch anymore. It used to be, you have a Fifth Avenue address. Wow, you guys are really professional. You're corporate. And I will say that for my business, a lot of clients would be like, oh, your office is in Midtown. Okay, you must be a real company,
Right.
I work out of my
because
home
you pay
office.
Midtown rent.
Right. So you must be somebody. You must be worth something. These services must be worth the value of. Yeah, all right. Well, fucking smoke and mirrors. That's what we call it.
Usually, yes.
Yeah. You get 5 guys putting half the rent for the month.
Yeah.
We're roommating.
Yeah.
You have 5 companies. Roommates. You see all these glass.
Rob Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah. You see all this glass and doors and conference rooms and leather seats and mahogany tables, and everybody's like, "Oh man, these guys are official. Real company. A real company." Yeah. So yeah, man. Other than that, Trump again and Porter. You following this story?
Trump and Porter?
The guy, Rob Porter is his name. The chief staff.
What the dude that keeps beating his wife or whatever. See this. It's not funny.
It's not funny. The abuse is not funny.
But it is funny because then you say that we were unaware and stuff, and then it comes out that this dude has like 12 charges against him. And it's like 12? Like, you could say 1. You and I, we love our wives, but we've gotten into arguments. And there's been a couple of pushing and shoving here and there. And if somebody wanted to say, okay, that was a form of abuse, okay. We can get that. And that's always on there. And you can always write that off, But 12 times? 12?
And two different wives.
And 2 different wives.
Problem's him.
He's got the problem. Come on,
you
man.
can tell he's got the problem.
Oh.
He's a little too hands-on. He's a little too touchy.
Jesus Christ, that's a dude that like comes home and he heads straight for the fucking bar.
But you know what,
bitch? Where's my bourbon?
I said bourbon.
God damn it!
This is fucking whiskey. But I'm reading. George Stephanopoulos. Snuffleupagus. George Snuffleupagus.
That's what Jimmy Dore calls him.
Yeah.
George Snuffleupagus.
They had the panel on and they said, if this was someone applying for that job, okay, the background check would have revealed, sorry, this guy's not qualified.
Yeah.
He has too many issues that are unresolved with his local law.
Right.
And we're going to pass. We're going to say he's not a good guy for us. He may be okay. He may be good at the job. Right. He may be qualified.
And we're not talking about speeding tickets or anything like that.
Right. But he has some domestic issues that we think are not good for. This is a guy that can see, stuff that's.
Well, he can't get a security clearance.
Right.
Because of that.
Right. That's what I'm saying. But he has all the access to the stuff.
Right.
Like I'm boggled. I'm baffled that the process like.
This presidency is going to determine for us what we, as a public, will accept as the presidency.
Yeah.
If we are going to accept, regardless of what you think, I'm not the biggest Obama fan.
Right.
Okay. I don't think Obama was this great knight in shining armor that a lot of people put him under. Right. But if you want to say somebody was presidential and somebody upheld the standards of what you expect the president to be, that's what you would want the presidency to be.
Right.
So now we have a decision to make as we chug along in our future to say, are we willing to accept this notion? Because this is a guy who, he's off the cuff and he'll just say what's on his mind. And, okay, we kind of like the fact that, he's a vanguard. He's not part of the establishment. Right. Okay, fine. You like all that stuff. But are you willing to accept this?
Right.
Because now down in the future, we can just say, well, we don't really give a fuck who the president is.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it's irrelevant.
It doesn't matter. Go ahead and vote. An Oprah rock ticket for fucking for the next presidency. Fine, go ahead. Let's make it a celebrity thing. Everybody be celebrities.
Yeah.
Or we say, no, this is some kind of serious shit that we need serious people to do it, and a person has to have a certain quality of character and along with a certain amount of experience, and of course, we would like them to be able to make fucking certain policy decisions and blah, 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 blah. That could always be negotiated. But a dude who just has no issue with somebody with 12 domestic violence charges against them, we have to ask ourselves, okay, do we want this dude running the show?
Yeah, it's very alarming to, but I think, like we always say, so many things have been exposed with this presidency that a lot of Americans had no fucking idea about.
Yeah.
Like, Americans were not this involved or this engaged in, like, learning about policy, learning about how, the House and the difference. And now people are waking up and saying, why do we need these fuckers?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are they doing?
Right. Like, what do you need?
Like, what
do we need from you?
What the, like, they're spending more time talking about the policy than the policy itself.
Right.
Like, they're talking about the act of writing a policy. They still got to go in and do the work, even if that gets approved.
Yeah, and we don't even know if you're doing the work. We just know you're just commenting on this.
But I saw some documents that were passed on from these acts or whatever else. Where they package these deals and they just repackage them and just scratch the top name off of it and change the name of it.
And then
and they're reading the body 500 pages long, and they go, you do know that on page 320 you referred to this as Obama's thing, and they say, we typo, we redact that. Redact, take it out. After the fact, and they presented it. So these guys are clueless. I think the lawyers, in these, the political lawyers are having a field day. They're billing like crazy. They gotta. The consultants and the
consultants, yes.
The Tata Consulting and Aspire and all these big fucking firms. They are having a field day with this shit. They're just billing. They probably so overbilled, and I'm sure we're paying for it. I'm sure the taxpayers are paying for it.
We're paying for it.
It's fucking crazy.
Absolutely, we're paying for it.
But
we're not paying for a fucking new road. We're not paying for high speed rail to connect every major city in the country to anything. We're not dedicated to, a better infrastructure. Yeah. Bridges are fucking falling down. Every time I cross that bridge, I'm like,
across this mother. Yeah, I constantly have that. Is that a real fear, like a bridgeophobia? Is there a legal name for it?
I don't know if there's a name for it, but
it's got to be a name for it. They have phobias for
the notion. Well, yeah, I mean,
sure,
yes, there is. But the notion that we haven't really like anything serious improvement in our infrastructure is it's evident every time you take, especially in the city when you take the subway and it's the same shit. It's like we put lipstick on a pig. It's just okay. We got these pretty new cars that run on the same fucking track that do the same goddamn thing that the other ones
did. Fucking lights. The train will be here in 2 minutes. All this other those things are like 1 more minute. Oh, it's okay. Well, 1 minute was a long time ago. Like it just didn't have. You see all these little things that they put out. Like Cuomo said it back. He's like, enough with the fucking signs and putting these things. Well, let's fix the cars. Let's fix the stuff.
Let's fix the cars. Let's
fix the
track.
Let's fix
the thing. Let's fix the. Can we get a fucking decent speaker in the fucking thing so if there is an issue? Exactly. When you hear this house, this mic is gonna call sound down some of that. Thank you. Exactly. You're like sometimes you take your headphones off and you just listen and you realize I don't know what the fuck you said. You just stick your shit back in. It doesn't matter.
So the Long Island Railroad is notorious for you get on the train and they'll say the next stop is New Hampshire, whatever, and people, oh shit, they just run off, and I'm like, guys, you're on the right train. Like this is the time it's supposed to be here, and I see people jump up. It says Valley Stream. It's supposed to go Locust Man. You know, it's supposed to go to all those stops, and people just jump. And the conductor himself is like, what? He doesn't even hear it anymore. He's so programmed. Like he's just like, this is the 405 train. You know, like, whatever. This is what's gonna do what the 405 train does. Like, and people jump up. They said it's going to Ronkonkoma. Oh, and it's a computer. Like that. Yeah. That shit fucks people up.
It does fuck people up.
They don't realize how
it does fuck people. But it also fucks. Well, I had this issue with this woman the other day when I was on the train. She was train to Hicksville. And I said, yeah. This is the train to Hicksville. And then she says, well, what stop is it? I said, this train here, if you take it, it'll be the first stop.
Right.
So well, my friend said I should get on this other train. I'm like, well, why the fuck are you asking me then? You know, if you have an answer, then fucking go with your answer. You asked me, is this the train to Hicksville? Yes, it's the train to Hicksville. You get on this train, it'll take you to Hicksville. I have no interest in fucking lying to you. I don't really give a shit.
I made you go.
Exactly. I don't get fucking $50 if I give somebody the wrong information and whatnot. But my friend said I should get on. So what the fuck are you asking me for then?
It happens every day, by the way. And I've seen people ask me that, and I did the same thing. I tell the guy, I said, listen, I'm not sure. You know what I'm saying? I said, I'm going here. This is where I'm going.
Right. I know my stop.
I know where I'm going.
That's the only thing I'm supposed
to. And I don't know where it goes after that. Because don't make me a liar. You know what I'm saying? Get me wrong or get me right. But I'm just telling you what I know.
I know where I got to get off.
And you asked me, so I'm telling you my opinion. One time on the Long Island Railroad, it was one of those packed days when the train and everybody's trying to squeeze and get on the train. And we get on, and this Indian guy jumps on, and the doors are closing. He's in the middle, and they're like, "Sir, get out of the door!" You know, I want to get in. I want to get in. And he's shaking, doing the head bobble, and he says, "Well, if I can't get on, then the train won't go anywhere." And he's and the guy said, "If you don't fucking move, I'll make you move." He said, "Then this train is not going anywhere." And he just sits and bobble, 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 and everybody looked at him and was like, "Yo, fuck off the train, man." Okay. And he just backed up. And he's just sitting there like,
oh shit.
Fun stuff, man. So
what's your week look like?
My week looks
Are you so are you in the city anymore, or are you just
coming soon? Coming soon. New deals in place. Ink's not dry yet. Okay. So sign a new contract coming up, and we shall see. Be fun. 'Tis fun. It's already in the motion. I'm just trying not to jinx it too much.
We shan't jinx.
But it looks good. But it's,
we shan't jinx.
Yeah, I just closed one chapter. And now it's rather than me paying all the costs, somebody else will pay the costs.
That's good. As long as somebody else pays for it, that'd be good.
Still be an independent contractor and just do my thing. But it's Black Panther week. That's for sure.
You gonna see it?
I'm going to see it.
Yeah.
So they opened up Thursday.
Okay. It's usually the
advance. Yeah,
it's usually it's usually the day, right? Usually,
it comes out Friday. It comes out Friday.
I thought movies are usually open on Thursdays.
It comes out Friday. The big ones come out.
I'd be lying if I said I didn't have to go take a piss real serious.
Well, that would be serious, but I think we kind of hit the note.
Black Panther. That's it. We're going to end on the Black Panther note.
End on the Black Panther.
I know everybody I know is going to see Black Panther,
and I hope it's everything they said it would be.
What if Black Panther ends up being a shitty movie? Wouldn't that be? Wouldn't that be?
This is almost like Obama fucking up.
I mean, just like
it's like waiting for the. It's like
there's so much anticipation.
I know
for this movie, and it's like across the board, not just with black folks. But just like across the board. There's so much anticipation for this movie, and a lot of people feel that they got it right, and it ends. It adds all this different cultural element that people aren't used to seeing, and so it's going to be one of those things where, like, the expectation is already here.
Yeah.
So the question is it going to at least meet that expectation?
All it's got to do is just meet it. It's just got to meet it, and I think even the commercials are meeting it already. Like I'm getting excited, but I keep hating that they showing too much. Like I'm like, don't show me anymore, please, because
Well, they already have freaking national commercials for the thing, so they're not even. We haven't even determined if this shit is even valuable yet, but they've already pimped that out.
I am so into. Can't wait for it, and so that's all I'm looking forward to.
Black Panther.
That's Valentine's Day for me. That's
love.
All right, everybody. 2Bros Podcast. We are signing off. Episode 21 is a wrap.
It's a wrap. I'm gonna go take a piss because we had 2 beers,
and we're out of here. Love you too. Peace.
You're watching 2Bros Podcast on 13 Goes TV. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. And get yourself some piss-proof underwear. Piss off.